What's happening, y'all? It's a Star in Charge, Star Life E, and we back at it with another edition of Certified Star. We figure out what makes these niggas stars for real. Now today, I got a special guest with me, Mr. 1100 himself. What's happening?
Now that's how you supposed to shoot. From now on, that's how you shoot.
But I'ma tell you about this one time. It was me and Mitchell riding around with 2 ARs and some stolen pistols. I think I see an unknown in the whip and he taking pictures. Hey Mitch, take these ARs and I'ma take the pistols.
What's good with you, bro? How you doing today?
We just chilling right now.
Okay. So here at Star Quality, where we start off, we want you to take us back to the trap, my nigga. Take us back to where you originally from.
I'm from 1100, 11th Ave and East 24th Street, you feel me?
Okay, what city is that in for those who don't know?
It's in Oakland, California, Funktown, you feel me, to be exact.
To be exact, Funktown for real? Okay, so can you tell us, how was it growing up, Funktown in Oakland?
That shit like any other hood, you feel me? You got your niggas that's trying to get money and shit. You got your niggas that's robbing people. And shit, I don't know, we was just somewhere in the middle.
Right, trying to do a little, we was doing a little bit of everything over here.
Oh God.
Okay, so how was your childhood for real? What kind of household was you growing up in? Was it a single house home?
Yeah, I was staying with my mama for the most part, you feel me? And then after that, I would stay with my grandma and shit like that. So we was just going from, you know, all around Oakland and shit like that.
Okay. So how was school growing up? What schools was you going to?
I went to some school. I got kicked out of Oakland public schools back in the G for some other little weird shit. I don't know, I was going to school in San Leandro for a minute. But then I came back in middle school and went to Edna Burr over there in Oakland. Then I went to Tech after that.
Okay, what was you doing in school? Was you doing like any sports or anything?
Nah, I wasn't doing that shit. I didn't really want to play sports. I just had a name, you feel me? They was like, oh, this nigga named Kobe Bryant and shit. We feel me?
Yeah.
We finna utilize that.
I feel it. So, was you doing like any music or anything back when you was growing up?
Shit, not really, but the motherfuckers around me was, you feel me? So I was just like, okay, soaking it up, but I wasn't really taking that shit serious. I'm just letting everybody else do their thing. I'm just, you feel me, observing and shit.
Right. So growing up, did you have like any siblings or anything?
Yep, I got a big brother and 2 little sisters.
And 2 little sisters. Well, how far age apart are y'all?
Shit, one of them 10, the other one just turned 17, and that nigga, my big brother like 30 or something now.
Like 30? Was you growing up with your big brother?
A little bit, but shit, I was really doing my own thing.
Just trying to get it your own way for real.
Oh God.
So when was you really taking music serious? Like, when do you feel like you was like, let me take this shit serious?
Shit, I was making like little shit for myself to hear in high school, you feel me? I wasn't letting nobody hear my shit. Like, I was stingy with my craft and I ain't want a motherfucker to be like, man, that shit weak.
Right.
I ain't gonna put you in position to say my shit weak, so I'm just listening to myself. Then I'm letting my niggas hear that shit, they like, but that shit slap. But obviously your niggas gonna tell you your shit slap. I'm like, damn, I need an unbiased opinion. And one day my nigga Mac Barry and shit, he like, make a SoundCloud. I'm like, bro, I ain't trying to be doing all that. I don't even be fucking with it like that. He like, bro, just make a SoundCloud, you feel me? Made a SoundCloud, dropped a song on that motherfucker. Motherfucker did hella thousands. I'm like, oh, okay, for sure. So I fuck with SoundCloud. I thought I was just rapping and wasn't nobody hearing me, but when I made the SoundCloud, motherfuckers was really going to view the song and shit.
That's crazy. So how was that reaction for you? Like, cause you feel me, at first you didn't have too much confidence. You feel me? You just listening to yourself, and then it's like you finally drop your first thing, and you feel me? You get a good.
I thought the shit was catchy to myself. When the motherfucker was like, "Bro, that shit hot." I'm like, "Damn, that's a lot." You feel me? That shit big. Appreciate that.
That's
shit.
what's up. So was that like your first song that you had dropped too?
On SoundCloud, yeah.
What's that song called?
It's called Funk Anthem.
Funk Anthem. What was that song about?
Shit about hella really or you was just that a nigga was going through at the time, though. You feel me?
Niggas just really talking shit. So, what was like one of the first studios you recorded at? Was it like a home studio?
My nigga Weed shit over there in the Dubs. Was recording that shit. Me and my nigga Big 35. We used to go to that motherfucker every day. You feel me? Cause he only wanted $20 to record a song.
$20?
Like, nigga, what?
We there.
This motherfucker every day.
Damn, so you was just in that motherfucker recording.
When I'm not in that motherfucker, that nigga was already there and shit like that.
That's crazy. So when did you start getting into like the videos and the shit? Cause you know, like when you first start making music, like you did the sound, it's like, it was an era, you feel me? Like the SoundCloud era, niggas was just dropping like sound. So when did you start transitioning over to, you feel me, doing the visuals and shit?
Shit, I remember one time I went to weed shit and I'm like, damn, I was already on SoundCloud with a couple thousands of views. I'm like, I made this shit called Real Talk. I'm like, damn, I fuck with this shit hella tough. Like, man, somebody else will happen to like this shit. So my cousin got a camera and shit. The nigga named Cuzzo shot this. That shit hella crazy. That's my cousin.
That's your cousin?
Yeah.
That nigga do hella videos.
That nigga do everybody shit. So that nigga was, you feel me, like I got a camera and fuck with it. I'm like, oh yeah, it's good. So me and this nigga Tay recorded some shit called Real Talk, and ever since then, we just been dropping videos and shit.
Damn, so like what year was that? Like how old was you when you started doing the videos?
That was like 16, at the end of 16 or 17, like that, something like that.
Damn, 16, 17. So about how old were you when you dropped your first song on SoundCloud and shit?
Shit, I think the nigga was like 17.
17. So it was like, so everything was, it was kind of like all around the same time.
For sure.
Okay, so how was the reaction when you had dropped your first video? So people could put the name to the face, you feel me?
When I dropped the first video, motherfuckers was like, all my niggas was resharing that motherfucker, telling people to watch it and shit, you feel me? But that was on YouTube. But I'm used to SoundCloud, like nigga, I check back, my shit be on a couple thousand overnight or something, like, you feel me? I keep checking the YouTube, I'm like, damn, this motherfucker ain't going like it's
This motherfucker's slow.
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on? Nigga, that nigga like, he like, I don't know, you just gotta keep dropping. I'm like, all right, whatever. I keep dropping, but my shit's still not doing the proper numbers that I need my shit to do, you feel me? Like compared to my SoundCloud, my shit doing 20K, 30K, all types of shit.
So you was doing 20K, 30K on SoundCloud. What was your YouTube numbers looking like at the time?
My YouTube numbers was only like a band.
What? That don't make sense.
That's what I'm saying, it didn't matter. I didn't know, I thought they was hoeing me or something, like niggas just.
Y'all niggas hiding my video. Damn. So nigga, how was that feeling? Cause you feel me?
That shit was crazy. Niggas stopped rapping for a minute. I'm like, damn, like what the fuck? That's a slap in the face. Like a nigga getting all in. I'm like, okay, so that's for sure.
Yeah, like I got YouTube gotta go up.
Nigga, they was not viewing that motherfucker. I keep resharing this shit all the time. They not viewing that motherfucker. I'm like, damn, what the fuck do I gotta do?
Right.
I just kept dropping on SoundCloud. Then I started getting like a little following and shit. Okay, people start viewing me a little bit on YouTube.
So was you still? So you was dropping on both SoundCloud and YouTube, or you had just?
At first I was just dropping on SoundCloud, but then I started trying to drop back on YouTube, and they still wouldn't fuck with me. I'm like, okay, so I just like let other motherfuckers post my shit on YouTube.
Okay, like on different channels and shit. Okay. So after you had dropped songs like Set It Up Part 1, what was you feeling like your next move after them type of hits was?
I feel like the setup was just like some normal everyday shit for me. Cause like nigga, I be having stories in my head all day, every day. And then nigga Mitch, that's my nigga for sure. Niggas be thinking I knew that nigga for hella long. I just met that nigga this year, like 7-8 months ago, you feel me? So yeah. That nigga like a big brother and shit, he a cool nigga.
Can you kind of go into what that song was kind of about and like the process of recording it and shit?
Just like, we was in the studio one time and them like, motherfuckers was like, you should tell a story, cause I already got a song prior to that named Storytelling. They like, damn, they fucking with that storytelling.
Right.
They're like, bro, you gotta do something like that again. I'm like, okay. I did something like that on a little mixtape that I dropped called Funk That Auto, you feel me? I did like a little I Get Around Tupac remix on there, motherfucker. Everybody fucking with that one. They're like, bro, you need to shoot a video there.
Right.
You got to. then we came up with the idea of the setup. Like, I'm like, damn, how we gonna start this motherfucker up?
Right.
And it's like, I always write a story, but for me to write a story and combine with another nigga's story.
Yeah.
To go with this nigga's story, and it gotta be a video, and it gotta make sense. I'm like, damn, how we even start this motherfucker? And I'm like, I'm gonna tell you about this one time it was me and Mitchell. And then ever since then, that shit just start flowing out. I'm like, yeah, for sure. That nigga showed me his little verse after that. I'm like, oh yeah, we gotta keep going. Right. We're gonna do like 2 of these bitches each, you feel me, and see what type of reaction we get. They're like, bro, y'all gotta keep doing that shit. Y'all can't stop storytelling. Like, all right, we get a plot twist, that's the part 2. And then we just dropped Civil War yesterday. So yeah, that's like a part 3 to that shit. Yeah, I
was just gonna get into plot twist. I was gonna say, you feel me? What was the process behind that when recording that?
Was like, we was just making another like the setup, but then the motherfucker like I forgot what happened. Like, nigga, like you gotta say something else and like take a Jurassic dark turn. And I'm like, nigga, what you talking about? Like, you feel me? Nigga, like I'm just thinking. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna try to fuck with it. I'm like, damn, how could I leave a motherfucker in suspense, like, damn, what happened then? I'm like, all right. Everybody clutching like we're Mitchell at. You feel me? At the end of that motherfucker, and I'm just looking around at all my niggas and everybody clutching like we're Mitchell at. Like, you feel me?